we'd known Dylan for years. Dylan was in this room. Dylan stood over in the family room and watched play videos that they did for Mrs. C and laughed with the whole cast. Dylan was a great little kid. He played the drums in the library when we had the band. Dylan was a cute, nice, little, gentle little boy who was very shy and had no confidence. I can see him playing the drums and it's tentative, it's tap, tap, because he's just afraid of making a mistake and afraid of being made fun of. And I'd go down and I'd go, "You guys sound great." And I'd go, "Dylan, you're what a great drummer." And
hey, Dylan, have some confidence. You're doing good, man.
Yeah, no way.
And he'd get loosened up and he'd start to drum and you could see the confidence build. It was a great experience for him. And we did that every time we were with Dylan. You had to pull him out of his shell. Oh my gosh, Dylan had a great smile. It was infectious and it was real. It wasn't, it was his whole face, and it just showed his joy of life and his happiness, which I know it makes no sense at all. This is why everyone who knew Dylan, and I mean without question, every friend of Dylan that we know, my kids, Judy, no one could believe that Dylan would do that. We didn't know it was Dylan. We were hoping it wasn't Dylan, but then they announced on TV that it was them.
Right.
They get both names, and Judy's oddly enough the one that told Tom and Sue that. Judy was down at Tom and Sue's house to help them, and she told them that it was Dylan too.
Right.
And they were just quiet and confused and trying to accept it. And
right.
What a mess it was for them. We knew Eric would do this. Eric was angry and an injustice collector, but for Dylan to do this made no sense at all. It still doesn't make sense. I had more trouble accepting Dylan's involvement in this than anything else in the entire research I did, and it wasn't until I went through some of the ballistics information and what they did in the library that I realized how cruel and horrible Dylan was. Dylan killed innocent children in the most violent ways possible. So there were two Dylans. There was the initial nice little kid, and then there was the killer in the school. And if anything motivated me to understand and to read more, it was that. Dylan was changed from this wonderful, loving little boy that I still love to this horrible killer. And there had to be a reason.
Right.
And that's why I studied and read about it. I wanted to know that reason.